Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. My name is Ashley and this is the Library of a Silver Saint where we talk all things books. I hope you're all having a good day. I have Ernie with me, just on the floor. He's just laying with me. He just wants cuddles before I go to work. I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to come on here and make another video. I really enjoyed the last video that I did where I kind of had a more laid back approach where I sort of don't have any script or any notes or anything. I'm just sort of, well, I wouldn't say a script, but sometimes I make notes so I don't forget anything. But I've not made any notes this time. I just wanted to have a little bit of a chat. Got my biscuit tea. Make sure you've got a beverage too. Get comfy. You can sip. I love this new mug that I got for my birthday. It's so pretty. Also, quick update before I discuss. One, I've got my new Truth and Courage necklace from, I don't know if you won't be able to see it. Oh, from the Brothers Gwyn, from the John Gwyn shop. From The Faithful and the Fallen. I love it. I'm wearing it every day. And then I've also got my new Flowers and Fantasy t-shirt that I got for my birthday. What about Second Breakfast? I just love it. So good. So just had to show you those. But anyway, in today's video, I wanted to talk to you about a series that has just taken over my life and my brain, really. I've spoken about it so many times because I've been telling you guys that I've been reading it and that I've been doing a buddy read of it with Abby, Leanne and Luke and having the best time. So you will already know what it is, but I felt like I needed to make a video to just talk about it because it's so good. It's so good and it's better than I ever could have imagined. The Gale Song trilogy by the incredible Shauna Lawless. Now, I went looking for a hardcover and I managed to find one secondhand, but I actually bought the second one because they can be a little bit tricky to come by. And the person that sent it accidentally sent me the first one, which was a bit of a win actually because I wasn't able to find it anywhere else. So I've got my gorgeous hardback and actually I was quite pleasantly surprised. I think it's to find it signed as well. I mean, what a win. So, the Gale Song trilogy, the Gale Song saga by Shauna Lawless. It starts with The Children of Gods and Fighting Men. We have two other books. Now, I managed to get these as well, but I haven't unwrapped them yet. We then have book 2, which is The Words of Kings and Prophets. Look at that artwork. It's absolutely glorious. And then book 3, I haven't actually opened yet. The Land of the Living and the Dead. Now, we did our buddy read of these 3 books. Me, Abby, Leanne and Luke. Oh, look at them. They just, look at those spines. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They look stunning. And I don't think any of us were prepared for how much we would enjoy this series. It's honestly blown my mind how much I love this series and how addictive I found it. And I think Abby, Leanne and Luke would also say the same. So I thought I can't not make a video about this series and tell you guys all about it because if you have not read it, hi Ernie, if you have not read it, I can't recommend it enough. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a brief overview of the series. I don't want to go into spoilers or anything like that. Obviously, I'll just kind of give you an overview and just a summary, but I just need to talk about this series. I just need to talk about it. Ernie has decided to lay down on my lap. Hello. So I'm going to talk about it. Right, I'm going to get myself comfortable because I put a cushion down to sit on and Ernie has now taken it from me. So I'm just going to move. Yes, you took my cushion. He's slipping on the floor. You took my cushion. Right, so the Gale Song trilogy by Shauna Lawless. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Where do we begin, Ernie? Where do I begin? So the Gale Song trilogy it covers a lot of different genres. Predominantly, it's historical fantasy. However, there is also an element of a hybrid between historical fiction and historical non-fiction, because actually a lot of the events that take place are either completely true or they're based closely to real historical events that happened in sort of 10th and 11th century Ireland. So it's historical fantasy, a little bit real historic events. You've then got also uses of magic. You've got a lot of mythology and folklore. You're just getting Ernie's bum now. I'm really sorry. Ernie, put it away. Put it away. chaos. You've got elements of mythology and folklore. You've got magic. You've got sort of witchery. You've got mortals and immortals, all sorts going on. So that's the kind of vibe. I was saying, if you're considering, what's the setting, what's the scenery, what's the feeling of this series, I would say it's very reminiscent of The Last Kingdom, if you've watched that series or on Netflix, or if you have read the series by Bernard, is it Bernard Cornwell? I would say it's very reminiscent of that. Now, I've not read Bernard Cornwell's series on it. Sorry, I can't get my words out today, but I have watched the Netflix series, and I would say aesthetically, that is kind of what it really reminded me of. This made me very reminiscent of that. You've kind of got the sort of Nordic Viking-esque world. It was just, if you're into that, you will love this. We're in that setting, and the premise is that we follow the point of views of two main female characters. One is called Gormla and one is called Fola. And I will sort of go through them separately. So Gormla, so good. She's so good. She is your fiery, badass, reminiscent of Cersei in Game of Thrones, in A Song of Ice and Fire. She's clever, she's manipulative, fiercely intelligent, and very much appears that she doesn't care for other people, particularly men, but she loves her children with all of her heart, with all of her being, and she would do anything for her children. So you've got Gormla. Gormla is a fire mage, so she's called a Fomorian. So she has fire magic, and in this period, in where we begin, it is believed that the Fomorians are all dead, that they don't exist anymore. They've all died out. But Gormla lives, and she is hiding the fact that she is a Fomorian. In this story, she's a queen. She is married to a king who is quite old, quite close to death. She would very much like for her son, Citric, to become the next king. And so she manipulates and maneuvers herself and her son in sort of court politics so that he can become king. Well, that's what she wants. That's her goal. But obviously it doesn't always go to plan. But she's seen as quite ruthless, and that she doesn't really care about other people. But really, there is such a depth to Gormla and her past and what's happened to her and what she's gone through. And also there's this huge acceptance of the fact that she, a bit like Cersei in A Song of Ice and Fire, this is why she reminds me so much of her. She accepts that she is a woman in a world where women have no power, they have no voice, they can't do anything, and she accepts this. She also accepts that she has this huge strength in her of this fire magic, but she can't use it. She has to hide it. And so she accepts her position, and she uses her mind and her brain and her manipulative character to maneuver her way through it, which I just find fascinating. And her chapters were just intriguing to read, just so powerful, so interesting, so gripping. And also she's ruthless, she is brutal, but you don't hate her. You don't hate her. She's not a villain as such. Like, she is, but she isn't. She's very clever. Love her character. We then have Fola, the complete opposite, but in a way, a very murky, hazy mirror image of Gormla. Fola is what is known as a descendant. So she is a descendant of a clan. Oh my goodness, I've forgotten the name of the clan. I'll write it on the screen. She is the descendant of a clan. And this clan all have, depending on the sort of type of person you fall into in this clan, not all of them have powers, but some of them do. Depending on which sort of role you have, your power is with that. So Fola is a healer. And it really matches her personality. She's very calm, gentle, compassionate, kind, warm and loving. The healing sort of powers that she has are really sort of closely in turn with that. And I love that about her. And again, she has to hide this. She has to hide her power. And she has to maneuver her way through society and through the politics that is happening around her. She also accepts that she's pretty powerless as a woman. But again, she fiercely loves those around her. And maybe, though a lot more moral than Gormla, she will also go to great lengths and great extremes when she needs to protect her family and the people that she loves. Now, at the beginning of the story, we are, as I say, we're following both of these women. And there are side characters as well. And occasionally the POV will switch. So you occasionally have a side character, but not very frequently. Predominantly it is Gormla and Fola. At the beginning of the story, they're very separate, and gradually as you work through the books, their stories begin to grow closer to each other. And I don't want to spoil anything as such, but I will just touch on the side characters. The side characters in this are so important and really play such a heavy role. This is where I don't like to compare series too much, but in terms of, again, the similarities with A Song of Ice and Fire, the side characters they hold such weight. You have got your sort of main predominant characters, but your side characters really drive the story forward, push it forward, and I would say exactly the same for this series. Your side characters are side characters, but they are needed. They are 100% necessary. They're not there to just be a friend or not there to just be a love interest. They hold such weight in pushing the story forward, and I love that. There is one side character I absolutely despise. Actually, there's two, but there's one in particular I really despise. You've got some animals in here, not overly companion-y, but you've got some animals in here, which is very interesting. The magic is really, really cool. And the other thing I wanted to say about this is I would also highly recommend reading the novellas that come with this series. So there are 3 novellas. One of them has only recently come out. So you've got Dreams of Fire, which is the first one, which is set before this. You don't have to read the novellas. You don't have to. They kind of add context and world building and, yeah, definitely a lot more understanding of characters the way they are and why the plot is going in a certain direction. I would highly recommend them. We read book 1 first, then went back and read the first novella. Book 1, then the prequel novella, then we read book 2, then the next novella, then book 3, and then the next novella. That's right. Yeah, it's one after the other. I'm so sorry if I've got that wrong. I will have to double check. But I would highly recommend the novellas. They are brilliantly compelling. They're incredibly short. You could read them in a day or two. But they add so much context, so much character information. And one of them really stood out for me. Dreams of Sorrow, the second novella. Really, I mean, all 3 of them were phenomenal. But that one in particular really, really stood out to me. I absolutely adored it. Sorry, just have to take a sip. Otherwise, I'll lose my voice. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So I would highly recommend the novellas. This story is just, the pacing, it's so quick. Like I've said this before, I'll say it again. I couldn't turn the pages fast enough. I just wanted to keep going. It was just so addictive. I love the fact that the characters have so many layers to them. There's no necessary morally right or wrong. There's a lot of conflict here between those two. There's quite a grey area. But you kind of root for some more than others, but you also completely understand other characters, which I also found really interesting. And I think the ending, because I've listened to a lot of people speak about the ending of The Land of the Living and the Dead, and I feel like there's quite a divide on this. A lot of people love the ending, and a lot of people didn't love the ending because they said they didn't really feel like it wrapped everything up enough. But because Shauna has announced, obviously, that she is going to be releasing the next novel, Daughter of the Otherworld, which I can't wait to read in the next couple of weeks or so, that's set about 150 years after. So it is a continuation. You could stop after The Land of the Living and the Dead, but some people sort of said that they didn't find the ending was satisfying. I found it satisfying. I think if Daughter of the Otherworld wasn't coming out, I would still be satisfied. However, it has made me more excited for Daughter of the Otherworld. So for me, it's done both. But I just think it's absolutely incredible. I feel like I've missed so much that I wanted to say. I've probably forgotten loads of things that I wanted to say. But honestly, I think the biggest thing about this series is how much it surprised me. This surprised me so much in terms of just how amazing it was. It's not that I didn't expect it to be good, but I knew I would love it, but I just did not know that I would love it this much. This is contending for one of my top reads, well, for the top read of the year. This is contending for the top read of the year. So it's amazing. It's amazing. It's so good. I am so excited to read the next book, Daughter of the Otherworld. And I would just say, if you have had any thoughts about picking up this series or any reservations about picking up this series, please pick up this series. It's phenomenal. Shauna's such an incredible author, such an incredible writer. And honestly, I found it so interesting because at the end of her books, she puts a little sort of excerpt from herself explaining sort of the history and why she chose to change certain aspects or amend certain aspects of the history to make it work for the story. And she explains it all. So interesting. But she also talks about the history and what happened. It's made me actually really interested in the history and it's made me really want to learn more. So it's just incredible. The characters are phenomenal. There's so much anger. There's so much love. There's so much hatred, but there's so much frustration in this series as well. Like, you're just like, oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Another thing I completely forgot to mention is the romance that's in here. So there is romance in here. There is a subplot. It doesn't hold a huge amount of weight in the story. But the romance in this is beautiful. As Abby would say, the romance in this is, or as Imi would say as well, Imi and Abby would say the romance in this is delicious. The romance in this is beautiful. It's so tender and genuine, and you really see the fear in the romance as well, and it just makes it so much more powerful. There's real yearning. It just feels really true and just beautiful, and that's another part of this series that I really, really loved. So that is my chaotic, hopefully non-spoiler review of the Gale Song Saga that I've just done off the cuff completely randomly. I'm really sorry, but please pick it up. It is just incredible. Thank you so much for watching this absolutely chaotic video. I apologise. As I say, not scripted. I didn't make any notes or anything. I just went for it. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. If you've read this series or want to, please leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts on the series are. If you've read it, or or any series that are similar to this, if you can recommend them, I would really appreciate it, because I just need more of this. I need this. Inject it into my veins, please. I need it. So if you have any recommendations for things that sound similar, then please do let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd be so grateful if you could please give it a like. And if you would like to become a Faer member of the Library of a Silver Saint, then if you could hit that subscribe button, I would be so grateful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.